Getting into this episode of GH, Curtis had the audacity. I really didn't like that scene between Jordan and Curtis. I didn't, because I like the way Jordan handled it for the most part, but I feel like Curtis, he just don't learn. Like he has no real understanding of how marriage works, in my personal opinion. Every time somebody lies to him or something doesn't go his way, he's ready to ditch the marriage. And I feel like you can't always do that. Do I think he should be upset with Portia? Yes. He has every right to be, but at some point, he's going to have to find a way to forgive and move forward. And I love how Jordan took the high road on this and basically told him, like, you need to forgive your wife. Like, you need to, not handle things with Portia the way he handled things with Jordan. Take a different approach. Um, Even if he feels like, oh, I'm gonna be a hypocrite. I mean, technically, you're not. It's called growth. You know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, he is being a hypocrite in one way because he's doing business with Miss Wu and he hasn't told Jordan or Portia what that business specifically is. He hasn't told them about that illegal gambling that she's doing in his club and he's getting paid a hefty sum for. He never told them about that, so that's a lie. So he is a hypocrite in that area. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna get mad at your wives? Your ex-wife and your current wife are lying to you about things, but yet you're keeping your own little secret that you're not telling them about. Um, that in itself makes him a hypocrite. Um, and what pissed me off with Curtis was he gonna sit there and ask Jordan why she didn't fight harder for their marriage. I mean, she fought as hard as she could, but at the end of the day, if you're the only one fighting and the other person wouldn't even step in the ring with you to fight, what's the point? Curtis didn't lift a finger to fight for that marriage. You know what I mean? Like, she wanted to go to counseling. She wanted to, fix it and stuff like that, but he was hell bent on getting a divorce. So, don't get me wrong, way before they even got to the point of divorce, he was trying to, make the marriage work. He was trying to have dinner with her. He even brought dinner to her office. She was the one that was always too busy to have dinner. So, in my opinion, he tried in the beginning, but he didn't fight that hard either for it. So, I mean, what else was Jordan supposed to do? I mean, once a person files for divorce, how much more fighting can you do for it? Like, I don't think somebody should have to kiss their spouse's ass to get along with them. I don't think you should have to chase your spouse, you know. Um because he was dredging up all this old stuff, and I'm glad Jordan shut that down because she didn't feel like they should have continued that conversation, especially while they sitting there drinking and stuff like that. And I agree. Ain't no point in rehashing all this because y'all divorced and he's married to somebody else. So what's the point of bringing up the past? Oh, if I would have did this, would we still be together? And she answered honestly. She was like, yeah, we would be. I'm just ready for Jordan to move on at this point. And I was so glad when that officer came in and interrupted them about the kiss. I was so happy because I don't want to see her go back down that road. I feel like her and Curtis are done. In my book, they should be done. They should put the nail in the coffin. He need to go home and work things out with Portia and figure that shit out. Um, in my opinion, I think that's what he should do. So anyway, moving on from that, I'm glad that we're getting some type of resolution to the Marshall storyline. Um, as far as him not having schizophrenia and whatever, but I'm glad he's looking into it. And he called Stella to find, old paperwork or, all his old medical papers and whatnot. Um, because I want to know, like, I mean, misdiagnosis, that does happen often. It can happen. But I think there's more to it with him. So I'm glad that he's looking into it, trying to find old doctors and stuff like that misdiagnosed him and find out what the deal is. And I'm glad he's gonna get weaned off that medication that he was on. So anyway, moving on from that. Um, Elizabeth is a lucky somebody. I'm gonna tell you right now. She escaped going to prison and then she escaped losing her job. Like, she got to be the luckiest white person I ever seen in my life. Like, she is just straight up lucky because, in my opinion, as sad as it would have been, I do feel like she should have lost her job. I do. I feel like she should have lost her job. But the committee thought otherwise. They felt like what she did was heroic in a way because they feel like she could have saved Esme's life compared to what Nicholas would have done to her. Um, but I still think she should have lost her job because what she did was wrong. Um, but she evaded it. So hopefully this is a lesson for her and she learns not to do any more dumb shit that could jeopardize her freedom or her career, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to last too much longer with her. Another thing that irritated me was how Terry pretty much tried to lay it on thick how it was Finn who was the most impactful when it came to saving her job and this, that, and the third. I hated that because I'm like, why do they always got to make every Elizabeth story about the man in her life? Like everything that revolves around her personally, they make it about the guy. It's like I'm glad though that Finn didn't want to take credit for it. He was humble enough to say like, no, it was everybody. It was an equal effort, which it was. I mean, come on, they got letters from Robin and Patrick. Don't get no more impactful than them two. Like those two pretty much carried that hospital for a good while. You know what I mean? Like they were the rock stars of that hospital for some years. So if they're writing letters of recommendations and all that type of stuff, that carries a lot of weight within itself. So I definitely feel like they had a large part in making sure Elizabeth kept her job. Plus, you had the current doctors there and the current chief of staff rooting for her and singing her praises and stuff. So I think all that was impactful. Honestly, I never want to see Finn and Elizabeth together. I don't. I feel like they don't move the needle in the love department. I don't think they do. I really don't. And I was actually hoping for something new for Elizabeth. I think she's due for a new career change. I mean, she used to love being, an artist and painting and stuff like that, and that's why I was hoping that she was gonna, pick up those paint brushes and start doing that, as a career. Because the art world, I mean, come on, you got paintings that sell for millions of dollars. So if she could, paint something that's like some Picasso looking shit, she could be a millionaire. I think that would be a change of pace for her, getting to her second act. I mean, shit, everybody else doing it, why not? Um, I get misty eyed every time they bring up Epiphany because Elizabeth was gonna send Epiphany a text message. I get misty when I hear Epiphany's name. I'm so gonna miss her. I really am. Um. So anyway, moving on from that. Ugh, Gladys. I cannot believe Sasha talking about putting her on payroll as a conservator. I'm like, are you insane? I'm glad. I'm happy that Cody told her, hell no. You need to look into Gladys before you think about doing that. Because I'm like, exactly. Gladys is not to be trusted. Then she talking about, like paying her and getting her a dress and all this type of stuff for the ball because they want to go to the ball together. I'm like, Sasha, you cannot trust this woman, like at all. Um, and I did like the little innuendos that Cody was making at her and stuff like that when they was sitting there. He literally had Gladys choking on her drink. Gladys is not happy about Cody and Sasha getting close. Like she is not thrilled about that, especially when she knows that Cody knows that she's a gambler. That's not gonna bode well. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna try to pull some shenanigans to get Cody the hell away from Sasha at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sasha found out the truth about Gladys at the nurses' ball, because the nurses' ball is usually when everybody's shit come out. So I wouldn't be shocked. I'm hoping so, because Sasha need to open her eyes to this girl. So of course Maxie is recruiting talent, and she wants Cody to be a part of the Magic Milo performance. I'm not really mad at that. I mean, I don't know why they want Drew to lead, but okay. I feel like TJ should have been lead, but if they got the background dancers and stuff like that, and you got Cody being one of them, TJ better be another one. I'm just saying, like, don't exclude TJ from the ball. Like, he better be a part of the act. I can't think who else they gonna get. Michael maybe. Who else could they get? I think it's a few people on the canvas right now that they possibly could get. Chase could be one. Um, Maybe Dante. No, I don't see Dante doing it. I don't think Dante ever performed at the nurses' ball. Now that I think about it, I think he always just sat in the crowd. I don't think he ever performed. It's about time they get his ass on stage because he need to be a part of this for once. I don't think he would go for no Magic Milo act though. I don't think that would be his thing. So anyway, moving on from that, Gregory, it's about time he admitted that he was sick. Like, I totally agree with Alexis. I think he should tell his kids, his family what's going on because Gregory has that whole macho attitude, like, oh, I can handle this on my own, or whatever. It's like, dude, let your kids be there. Have you when you're going through an illness, especially when your symptoms are worsening, you need a support system, and I feel like he needs a support system. Whether he wants it or not, I think he needs it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go through an illness by yourself. At some point they're gonna find out something's wrong with you. He can only conceal it for so long, before they catch wind of it. They're gonna start noticing. If Alexis is starting to notice that he seemed off, they're gonna notice. So, and they're gonna start grilling him. I don't know how long he think he can keep that shit a secret, but he better tell somebody. So anyway, moving on from that, I totally get where Trina coming from, and I agree with Trina. I think Spencer needs to keep his eyes on Esme. That's part of the reason why he's staying with Laura. He feels like it's a better way for him to keep tabs on that girl, because even if she still doesn't have her memory back, something tells me that she still got that evil streak in her even without her memory. Like, she's still just as manipulative. I would not trust that girl at all. So Spencer need to keep eyes in the back of his head with that one, because I wouldn't trust a damn thing out of her mouth. Like, that chick got the mark of Cain. Ain't nothing pure or simple about her. Like, I just feel like she could be faking this amnesia shit. Like, she possibly could be. She probably been got it back for all we know, and they just haven't revealed it yet. Because some of her facial expressions and the way she acting sometimes, it definitely gives off like she definitely knows something, or she planning something. Because her mind don't ever stop working. Like, that chick is evil to the core. This honestly was a pretty solid episode. Um, it was kind of jam packed as usual with a bunch of characters jumbled all up in there. But we're moving the needle. We're getting closer to the nurses' ball, which is pretty cool. So I think some good shit is gonna happen at that ball. That's what I'm really waiting for, the nurses' ball, because I know it's gonna be crazy. Like, it's gonna be a hot mess. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Have a great day. Peace.